Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking with Chef Rich. Today we're going to be making some fruit platters. Before we begin, let's just run through our ingredients. I have assorted melons, I have a papaya, some pineapple, some cherries, some red grapes, some pomegranates, some strawberries, some blueberries and blackberries, some oranges, kiwis, starfruit, red dragon fruit, and yellow dragon fruit. Always make sure that you wash all your fruits very well before you begin. So let's begin by doing a pineapple centerpiece. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut the ends off our pineapple. Now very often I will use the tops of these. This one doesn't look great. It looks definitely a little bit older. When they're nice and green, you can use this as a centerpiece as well. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a boning knife and we're going to start by going straight down all the way through and then just kind of go around. You don't want to cut through the skin. You want to keep the skin intact. And you do want to go behind the eyes, meaning the eye is right over here. You want to kind of go behind it. Now we're going to turn it over and just make sure that you have gone all the way through. At this point, the center should come out. Didn't do such a good job, oops. But all right, that'll work anyway. So this piece we'll use on one of our fruit platters. So now, for our centerpiece, we're gonna basically do a series of V-cuts. Now, you don't want this to be totally straight. In the back, you want it to be higher. So each time I'm going to go up a little bit higher. So you'll see that I started over here, and right now I'm over here. So we're going to do one last one. Like so. There you go. And you can actually use this one too, if you want to use two of them. Put this over here. And we're going to take some cherries. And we're going to fill this in with some cherries. You could use grapes. You could use strawberries and mixed berries. You could use anything you want to fill it in. Like so. I think I'm going to take maybe 2 cherries, cut them in half. And maybe a couple blueberries for color. A couple blueberries and maybe just 2 blackberries. Over here, make one more blackberry. A couple blueberries. And we have our centerpiece. Now let's go on to our fruit platter. So let's start with our watermelon. Normally, I peel the thing whole. I might be using it a little bit differently for some of the other platters. So for now, I'm actually just going to cut off what I need, which is, this would be half. I'm going to go a little bit less than half, probably like right here. And then we're going to cut the ends off. We're going to stand it on its side and peel it. You'll notice when I peel it, I go right below the white pith. If you want to leave the skin on, you can. That just gives a totally different effect. But by all means, you can do that. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our channel knife and we're going to make some lines on it. You don't have to do this step. You notice they don't have to be perfectly straight. When you slice it, it just gives it a very nice effect. If you don't do this, it doesn't make a difference. It just makes it a little bit nicer, but not necessary. I do plenty of fruit platters where I don't do this. Now the little stringy thingies you can give to the kids, you can put in a blender and make juice out of, you can eat directly, whatever you like. Next, we're gonna cut it in half. And we're gonna slice it. You wanna try to make sure your slices are even. When I say even, I mean even thickness. They're not gonna be perfect, but you do the best you can. So I'm just actually gonna take the ends away. Those I always just save. I normally either eat them or give them away, or like I said, use them for juice. The first half, we're gonna put over here. Second half, we're gonna put on this side. This one, we're gonna go this way. Just so we're clear, when I do this, I don't have a specific design in mind. I'm just kind of going with it, if you will. So now that we have this, let's actually use that pineapple. Now this didn't come out very, very even, but that's fine. We're gonna cut it in half this way. It's gonna be a little bit lopsided, but that's fine. We're gonna take the core out. I'm gonna cut the eyes off, a couple eyes on either side. Before we go with the pineapple, let's do some cantaloupe slices. Gonna cut the ends off our cantaloupe. We're gonna go right below the white to peel it. That doesn't look good. Oh boy. So now when I chose this out, it felt like it was fine. I'll just actually show you the other one. So if you look at it, it has a little bit of give to it, which is, it should have, but it's not actually soft, like I can't put my finger through it. This one is not good on one side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this off, see if the other half is salvageable. And this side is actually fine. So let's take a spoon. We're gonna scoop out our seeds. Take our channel knife and make some lines on here. And then we're going to slice this up. Once again, we want to try to slice even. Now, so I put it down the middle. By all means, you can put, like, if the whole thing was good, I probably would have gone on the sides. Now we're going to go with our pineapple. Let's slice this. When I peel it normally, it doesn't break like that, but because of the way I took the core out, or took the whole middle out, that's why it broke, but that's fine. So now we're going to take some orange slices. And so I was going to be putting them along here, but I think because of the amount of space we have, we're going to cut them in half. We're going to line these up. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So now let's take some kiwi, cut the end off, peel it. Slice in half, slice. We are going to basically put a piece of kiwi underneath of each orange. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Next, we take some grapes. Generally, when I use grapes, I try to cut them into small bunches. Just makes it easier to grab. By all means, you can use a scissor to cut the grapes. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some on this side, just to kind of give a boundary to our platter, or edge to our platter. Put some over here too. Let's put back. Now for the middle of the platter, let's just fill it in with some berries. Now over here and a little bit over here, I'm gonna take some blueberries and some blackberries. First I'll go with the blueberries. Kind of fill in any spots. Now we'll go with a couple blackberries. You notice I'm just putting them sporadically here and there. And voila, our first fruit platter is done. So as I'm looking at it, it definitely needs a little something. So let's actually just take one of our kiwis, take our paring knife, series of V-cuts, like so. Now, you can use it just as is, or if you want, you can bring this up another notch by going on the outside of this. Not on the outside, go like on the opposite. You notice that this is an inverted V, so we're gonna do an inverted V. And now we're gonna peel this away. Like so. There you go. And I'm going to do the other one. All right. So our kiwi flowers are done. And now let's put them on and show you what it looks like. That looks better. Definitely. What do you guys think? So for our next platter, we're going to do a very, very basic bird. Mind you, if you don't want to do a big centerpiece for your platters, you can always just take a bunch of grapes. You can always just take grapes and just do a pile of grapes. Like I said, cut them up first, but just do a big pile of grapes, and that can always be your centerpiece if you don't like carving and you don't want to spend the time, or you don't have patience for stuff like that. For this, let's go with, this is a little melon. I'm not even sure what type of melon it is, to be honest with you, but I saw it looked really cute. We're gonna cut the bottom off. Yep, like that. Because this is melon and the skin is hard, it's actually easier to do with a serrated edge. You'll notice that this has a serrated edge on it. Next one's gonna be a little bit bigger. Next one is gonna go a little bit farther down. I'm probably only gonna do 4, I'm guessing. This will be the 4th one. You can do this with apples. You can, I'm guessing that the seeds are right below this, so that'll be fine. We're gonna take this off. And then these were actually, like this is going down, these were actually gonna go upward a little bit. You could go in the same direction, it's fine. I just want to do something a little different, so. 3rd one. For those of you who want to try this, you can always practice on an apple, which would be less expensive than a melon. I have another video where I make apple swans. So we'll go over here. And now, so you want to go the same way, so it looks even. I want to say the same way as the other side. Now we're going to put this back together. You'll notice that over here broke. If you can see, we're like right here, it broke a little bit. That's fine, doesn't matter. Like, don't worry about it. Don't stress over it. Don't worry about it. If you do this with the apple, you do have to dip it in lemon water to keep it from turning brown. So that's the base. And now we have to make a head. So this is going to be the head. Let's cut this off. I don't like the way that looks. So your head wants to go this way, so it has to come down. So what's going to happen is you're going to cut over here, and this is going to be the neck. So you're going to start over here, go like this, and then when you get to the head, you're going to kind of do a little dip. I normally start off with the actual head part of it. So to do the head, you kind of come down, and then you straighten out to do the beak. So that's the beak. And then you want to go circular a little bit. And then bring your knife around. I don't know if you can see how that looks. So this is going to go like this. So we're going to cut it right about here. These keep falling, so I'm just going to take a little bit of a piece of skewer and stick it in to keep it from falling. I'm just going to push that down with the knife. And then I'm going to take my knife. So this is going to go like so. We're going to take a clove and we're going to give the little guy an eye. So the eye will go right here. Of course, it can't get through the skin, so we're going to make a little hole. There's his eye, and shoot it down. I have 2 skewers. You can use toothpicks if you don't have skewers. And voila, we have a bird. His head's kind of droopy, if you can see. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually just stick a skewer in there. There we go. And now we have our centerpiece. So I'm really not happy because if you look closely, you can see the skewer right here. So let's try this again. Let's take this out. This time we're actually going to put the skewer right through his neck to give it a little support. It seems like no matter what I do with this guy, he doesn't want to work. All right, so maybe we'll just leave him. So I'm still not happy because of the skewer. So let's try something else. Let's take a strawberry, cut it in half, slice it very thin. Let's do one other thing with this guy. Let's give him a little bit of a crown. We'll take the other half of the strawberry. All right, I think we're gonna leave it like that. Okay, so let's begin with our platter. Gonna take our watermelon from before and gonna go cut off a wedge. And for this one, I'm going to leave the skin on. And I think I'm just going to go straight up and down. Leaving the skin on a watermelon gives a totally different effect than peeling it. When it's peeled, obviously it's all red. When you leave the skin on, it's obviously green, white, and red. So it gives a totally different effect. Once again, you want to try to slice even if you can. And make sure you go all the way through. And now what we're going to do, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because it hides our beautiful birdie. And that doesn't work because you don't see the green. So something that's very important to understand. This centerpiece sits fairly low as opposed to the pineapple one, which sits rather high. So because this is low, we have to do lower fruits. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with an orange. We're gonna slice the orange. When I say low, I was gonna use watermelon on this. However, you'll see that it actually hides the centerpiece. So watermelon will not work for this. So we're gonna go with some sliced fruit, which will obviously be a lot thinner. And let's get one more. So spacing and size is very important. What do I mean by that? First off, spacing refers to how much space is between each piece. You want it to be relatively even. When you have spaces that are different, the platter looks not even. The other thing is, I started out with this one, which is a lot smaller, but that doesn't work. So let's go with the ones from the other side, which are bigger. Like so. Good. Next, we're gonna go with some pineapple. Once again, top off, cut the bottom off. Then we're gonna peel it. We're gonna go right underneath the eyes, hopefully. Cut the pineapple in half. We're going to V out the core. You want to make sure you go right below the core because otherwise the pineapple will just break in half. We're going to slice the pineapple. All right, so let's look at what we have here. We have pineapple, orange, and our bird. Just so you know, I make these up as I go. I don't have any preconceived notion as to what I'm actually doing here. So we can either go with green, obviously kiwi. We could go with starfruit. We could go with any type of melon, but I think I'm gonna go with dragon fruit. To use a dragon fruit, very simply, we're gonna break these off. And a dragon fruit inside is very much like an avocado, where the skin isn't edible, but it kind of just peels away from the actual fruit. You can peel it if you want to, but I'm actually gonna, I like the color of the skin, so I'm gonna cut the end off. See how, the white part is the part that's edible, but the skin is very, very pretty. So I'm actually gonna slice this. And when I was saying it peels away, with this, you can just literally you can use a knife, but otherwise you can just literally peel it like this and eat it like that. Really good. So what we're gonna do with this is, I think we're gonna go around this way. So you can take a look at what we have. Let's take a kiwi, slice it, peel it. Give it a slice. Actually, instead of slicing it, I was going to slice it and go this way or this way, but let's actually do something different just to mix it up. Let's do wedges. Nah, I don't like that. Let's actually do wedges this way. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a couple strawberries here, just to support my kiwi. And that's really what the strawberries are there for, to support the kiwi from falling. And you notice that the wedges aren't perfect, but that's fine. So we're gonna take in this little area, we're gonna fill it in with a couple blackberries. Throw in a couple blueberries. Like so. So this set of leaves keeps falling, so I'm just gonna take a toothpick and poke it right through. And I'll keep it from falling. So let's take a look at what we have. We have our dragon fruit, our kiwi, some berries, orange, pineapple, and our bird. So just to make life easy, I think I'm just gonna finish it with some cherries. You could use grapes, you could use cherries, you could use whatever you want. You could use raspberries. So right now we're just about done with our platter. Looks pretty decent. But once again, let's just bring it up a notch. Do we want to go with an orange or do we want to go with kiwi? Let's just do maybe kiwi. It's important to understand that just by doing a very, very simple garnish, it just brings it up, it brings your platter up a whole nother level. So this we're going to stick right over here. This one we're going to stick over here underneath this tail. And voila. What do you guys think? Think it's decent? Alrighty. So for our next fruit platter, we need a pomegranate. So what we're going to do is, we have the top and the bottom of the pomegranate. We're going to cut it in half the other way, and you want the seeds. So what we're going to do, just very, very simply, we're going to take a spoon and just keep tapping it. That's maybe a little harder to tap. And that's all of them. And then you'll notice that there's white pieces in the water. Those you just pull out. And once you get all the white pieces, you strain the water off and you have your pomegranates. So once you have all the pomegranate seeds out and into the water, you pick off any little white pieces and then strain it out, and you have all your pomegranate seeds. For this centerpiece, we're gonna take a cantaloupe, cut the bottom off. Kind of bottom off it just so it sits flat. Gonna do the same thing that we've been doing, just a series of V-cuts. It should just pull apart. Now, you notice that it's stuck over here a little bit. That's because it didn't go through. Just take your knife and make sure you went through all the way. Now it should come right out. That piece will reserve. This piece we're gonna scoop out all the seeds. So I'm gonna be using this as a basket to hold my pomegranate seeds, which means I kind of want this side a little bit lower. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go down a little bit more. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be able to get at the pomegranate seeds on the platter. I want it to look like it's easy to get at, kind of like that. So it's the higher in the back and lower in the front. Like so. And now we'll go to the back of our platter. What do you think? Looks nice. This beautiful melon over here. We are going to cut the ends off. I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't sure whether this was gonna be orange or green inside, but it looks like it's green, which works pretty well. When I do this, I go right below the white, because the white doesn't taste very good. Once again, I'm gonna take my channel knife, make some lines on it. The more details you put into a fruit platter, generally speaking, the nicer it looks. Once again, the lines don't have to be perfectly straight. They don't even have to be even. When you slice the fruit, it's not gonna matter. Cut it in half. Scoop out the seeds. Next, we're gonna slice the fruit. So far, so I have the melon, I have the centerpiece and the melon. I think I have half a pineapple from one of the other platters. So we're gonna grab that. I'm gonna take out the core. We slice. So this isn't so good, so I'm gonna get rid of that. We take half. We'll take the other half. All right, so let's take an orange, and we'll cut it in half. Let's maybe go this way. Now let's take some kiwi. Slice it. Alrighty, so now let's take some either grapes or cherries. We'll go with the cherries, I think. For those of you who hear a cat in the background, that's Marcy's. He might come over and say hello. And look who it is. Hi, Marcy's. Alrighty, put some cherries down. You need a little bit of red in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one more wedge of watermelon. Gonna just take a knife and cut the meat out. So, my cat wants attention. We're gonna slice this. Put our sliced watermelon over here, maybe. So when you're doing a fruit platter, they don't necessarily have to be uniform, but sometimes it's nice if they're uniform. So I just put the watermelon, put this side down first, and you notice that the back is over here and it's pointed that way. And this is also pointed this way, and that's wrong. You want it pointed the same way as the other one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it over. Sorry, I'm holding the camera with one hand. And now the back of it is by the cherries, and it's kind of facing the same way. And that way it looks nice and uniform. So we have a couple open spots in our platter. Let's take our starfruit. Now you notice the starfruit has a little bit of brown. When you choose out a starfruit, you want it to be more yellowish and less greenish. So I very often, I just kind of take the points off because I find that part of it to not be as good. The skin on a starfruit is perfectly edible. This we're gonna slice up. Take half of it. Half of it we'll put on this side. The other half on this side. Like so. Now we're gonna take some blueberries, fill in. Take a couple blackberries as well. No, we need a couple strawberries. The platter needed a little bit of like deep red. What do you think? And you can never go wrong with strawberries on a platter. What I'm doing here, if you can't see, I'm just doing a V. Now I'm going another V, the opposite direction. Now, one more. And one more. Now I'm going to take some grapes. I'm putting the grapes here just to prop up my next thing. One of the things that I always do, kind of a signature of mine, is a papaya flower. It's my favorite flower. And actually, because this is a small platter, we're gonna, like this end is fatter, this end is thinner. I'm gonna do it with the thin end because I want a smaller flower. A series of V-cuts. This is always my favorite flower that I like to do. Now we'll go upside down V's. Now go right below the skin. Not right below, just like, you want it to be thin, but if it's too thin, the petal won't stay up. So it has to be a little thick. What do you think? And our last platter is done. Hope you like it.